This is the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Trilogy EARTHRISE Deluxe Class Decepticon Runabout. And I picked up this figure from Hobby Corner. This is supposedly a Target exclusive, but we don't have Target stores here in Manila. And as such, gotta go to a hobby shop. So Hobby Corner was my hobby shop of choice for this figure. And here is Runabout out of packaging. The figure is absolutely gorgeous. I'm just so in love with this figure. I think Hasbro did a wonderful job with it. I have an issue, a little bit of an issue with the paint apps. I'll talk about that later, but look at this guy. Absolutely amazing. I love what they've done with this clear red plastic. It's a very deep kind of Decepticon red plastic. Kind of reminds me of Transformers Animated, Transformers Prime. I love what they've done with this figure. The paint apps they used, or I should say the color they used, yeah, to paint the guns, okay. Should have been a little bit darker, in my opinion. A tad bit more red, but it's okay. It still looks great. I love the matte finish and all that. He's got two guns. You can actually combine them to form a rifle like this, or the other way around, actually. This one out and combine them this way. This was how it was in the box. It's pretty cool. It's like a blaster rifle, Nerf gun. But honestly, I actually prefer them as two handguns or two pistols. They look great like that. And yeah, the figure absolutely came out great. The plastic looks so premium. It feels premium. I love the kind of resin that they used. It's glossy, but not super glossy. Even the black plastic that they used for, let me just show you that. The black plastic they used for the thighs, the hips, even the elbows, absolutely premium looking, premium feel to it. No complaints whatsoever, unlike Trailbreaker and all the other EARTHRISE figures that I mentioned, Optimus Prime and all that, that had a lot of cheapo-looking plastic. The clear bits are actually painted in this matte finish type of black paint, which was a surprise to me that they did not do the same treatment for the arms and the legs, much like what they did with Runamuck. And speaking of Runamuck, if you didn't already know, both share the same mold. But what's interesting is Runabout has a little difference, slight difference from Runamuck in that we get a brand new head sculpt. And if you look at that head sculpt, oh my goodness, that head sculpt, way better than this Runamuck head sculpt. No complaints on this one. They're trying to get that accuracy with the G1 toy, but I think you get more bang for your buck with this one. It's got more details, better ears, it's got a crest. Also, that head sculpt makes it slightly difficult to transform that head, which I'll show off later. Also, they did not just include and repaint the blaster that came with Runamuck. They added another pistol, so definitely worth possibly the exclusive price, store exclusive price that Hasbro's asking for this figure. If you take a closer look at the paint apps, you can clearly see that they've applied the matte white finish on most of the parts for Runamuck. But for Runabout, I think Hasbro had just fallen in love way too much with this glossy plastic that they used. It's got a lot of scuffing and all that, and I think a matte deco paint apps would have fixed all of that, would have been a very, very perfect figure. In terms of mold degradation, I don't see any. Honestly, I don't feel anything. I don't feel like it's like a second run of this mold. Everything feels very tight. So transformation, basically the same as Runamuck. If you're a parent, you're trying to teach your child, please check out my Runamuck video review, the guy in white, for a more in-depth discussion on transformation. But since this is the exact same mold, I'm not going to bore you guys with my detailed discussion on transformation. Let's just get right to it. Swivel, fold. Oops, sorry. Fold the legs up like this. Fold up like this, and then join the feet like that. And make sure this thing is tabbed all the way in like that. We'll do that later. Let's do this one first. Untab right here. Fold out the wheels. Okay, untab here. And then, okay. Remove this, pop it down. Come on. Okay, like that. And then fold the Let's do the arms. Fold fists, this, like this, like this. And then the head, go ahead and fold it down like this. The crest, because there's more details to it, loves to just hit these shoulders. So what you do is you just want to push the chest outward a little bit more, just so that head folds in. Now it'll be a pain just to get it out, I know, but the best way to do it is you tug onto this chest a little bit down, and then you can flip out that head, because that crest is really giving this figure some problems on the clearance when transforming it. So yeah, just be wary of that. And fold this like this, and like that. Fold this back up like this. Okay. And then, if you can, join the arms together like that. And fold the hood and windshield like this. Fold this up all the way like this, like that. And then make sure it's all the way flush. Fold it up so they don't scrape. They don't scrape when you try to roll the figure. And this one just stays right here. And there you go. There is Runabout in his alt mode. So pretty cool. It does roll nicely. You don't hear any of the scraping. That's just the sound of this review station, which I'm going to change everything before the year ends. I'll show you guys what I've done with it. So pop this like this. You can like that, any which way you want, but I don't want to ruin that paint, so I'm not going to keep those guns there. So it looks terrific. I absolutely love this alt mode. Kind of reminds me of Knight Rider. If you have no idea what Knight Rider is, you are so lucky to be so young. And here is Runamuck together with Runabout, both in their alt modes. And our alt modes are identical. I was kind of a little bit disappointed with that. I wish they would have given us some brand new feet to form a slightly different front grille with Runamuck for Runabout. And I wish they would have changed this one just a little bit. Just slight modification. Because in the old G1, Runamuck was I believe a Pontiac? He was a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Well, this guy, Runabout, was a Lotus. I think a Lotus. Was it a Lotus? Yeah, Turbo Esprit. Yeah. And it would have been nice if they kind of differentiated the cars as well. But I guess I would be asking too much from Hasbro and Takara Tomy. Both of them look great. And it's a nice throwback, very nice throwback to those battle jars. Like, that was a really cool gimmick. Crappy articulation on the figures, obviously, but really, really nice gimmick back in the day. And so some final thoughts on this figure. I think it's an amazing figure. Runabout is equally as impressive as his brother Runamuck. If you've seen my video on Runamuck, you know how much I love this mold. And to be done in black with some red Sith Lord red clear plastic, I am just loving this figure. I had issues with it, with the paint apps not being matched, like what they did with Runamuck. I think it's a very small issue, and I don't think it's a deal breaker and should not deter anybody from getting this figure. It's great. It deserves a 9.5 out of 10. Would have been 10 out of 10 had they matched the paint apps, like what they did with this one. I think they could have done it, but they chose not to. Because they probably liked the glossy black plastic way too much. Should you get it? If you live in the Philippines or you live here in Manila like I do, it will be very difficult to acquire it. And you should be prepared to pay $36, $34 to about $40. Simply because of the fact that we do not have Target stores. And the only way to get this is through hobby shops, or if you want to wait for the local importer to finally make up their mind whether they're going to get exclusives or not. And either way, you're going to have to shell out about $32, $34 at least, up to $40. $40 being this ceiling, the price ceiling for me. I think that's probably the maximum amount you should pay for this figure if you live here in Manila. Now, if you live in the US or other countries that have Target stores, I think you should wait for it to go on slight discount or on clearance if you can. Don't rush and try and get this from every reseller online or on eBay or on scalpers out there trying to resell it on Facebook and all that. Have patience. This should be about a $20, $25 figure. If you can get it below $20, let's say $19, $18, that's what you should be looking out for, because I think a deluxe class figure should not be sold at $40. The only reason we're selling it at $40 here in Manila is because there's no way to get this figure except through direct imports, and you'll be forced to pay these taxes, import duties, and a whole bunch of other fees that the local government and the national government is putting on imports from the US, and just imports in general. So it sucks, but if you really want the figure, those are the ways to get it. Let me know in the comment section what you think of Runabout and even Runamuck as a pair. Are they worth collecting? You think you should just get one over the other, or is it an all or nothing for you like it is for me? For me, if you get one, you got to get both. But it's a matter of preference. Some people just like Runamuck, some people like Runabout better. It's up to you. But I personally think if you get one, you got to get both. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe. And if you want to help the channel out, please check out my Patreon account. There's a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching.